Hi, my name is Patrick, and today I'm doing another interview about trans kids. This is a friend of mine from high school. Their name is Joan. Joan, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Joan. I'm 17. Pronouns are they, them. And I'm not binary.
I just want to get it like on the recording to make sure it's okay if I record this interview, use it for school, and upload it to my YouTube page. Is that good with you?
Yeah, it's all good.
And anything that you're not comfortable with me sharing, I'll edit it out and I'll show you the final product before I upload it anywhere.
Okay, thank you.
So, as this project has to deal with trans kids, would you mind sharing a little bit about your experience coming to terms with being trans?
It was difficult. You were the first trans person I knew in person,
Hmm.
and I just remember having a weird connection to you
Hmm.
and wanting to be your friend really bad, not knowing why. And then summer 2018, I realized I was gay, and then soon after realized I was non-binary. And a lot of things made sense, and we became friends.
Yes, I have known John a very long time. I
Yeah.
I think I've known you for like 8 years maybe.
Oh my god, has it really been that long?
I met you when I was in eighth grade,
I
and
was 11 when I met you.
okay, okay, so like six
Yeah,
and a half.
yeah,
Yeah, wait, when do you turn 18? It's next January, right?
yeah,
Okay, yeah, that makes. I've known John for like 6.5 years. We've known each other a very long time.
yeah.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so do you want to talk a little bit about like labels? I know you said that you're non-binary. Is there any other labels that you like considered going by that were important to you, or any other labels
Um,
that you claim now?
yeah. I'm for a long time I identified as gay because I wasn't really sure what was going on, and I
Hmm.
still kind of stick with that. I think I would technically be bisexual, and I say that sometimes, but
Hmm.
gay feels more comfortable because I've been identifying that as longer.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
Yeah,
the gay is an umbrella term as long as
yeah,
as long as it's at least like a little bit true. That's all that matters.
it is. I mean, I'm non-binary. It's not like I can be straight anyway.
Exactly. Like everybody dates when you gay at least a little bit. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I also say I'm trans and trans mask.
So this is gonna be a weird ass question, but it has to do with like, were there any physical spaces that had caused you like fear or distress after you came out? Like bathrooms, schools, churches, any of that kind of
Absolutely. Bathrooms, and I realized I was trans before uh going to public school, and I had to wear a uniform
thing?
and a skirt and gauntlets. It was hell. It was really bad. I
Mhm.
don't mind skirts now. It's just like that I was forced to.
You like to have the option.
Yeah, I like the option, and but especially then I was very much trying to be as masculine as possible. Now I realize I don't have
Hmm. I
to
feel
be
like
trans
it's
mask,
very common with like non-binary people to like not necessarily have to look one certain way, but just having like a little bit of ability to like change it as needed.
Yeah. Yeah. I just didn't know a lot about myself,
Mhm.
and I didn't know any other non-binary people.
Yeah, I feel like there wasn't a lot of like non-binary people in our area really.
I
Like
didn't know I didn't know a single person
I literally
when I
know
first came
like
out.
two trans people. Like
Yeah.
and like as soon as I graduated, the amount of trans people I talked to significantly increased.
College, you haven't gotten there yet. High school.
Yeah. High school's a little bit easier, but also similar experience. Went to private school until eighth grade, and then went to
Yeah.
you know public high school. So
Yes. Oh my god. There's been some shit there.
mhm,
So for a while I didn't correct people on my pronouns. I
mhm.
actually didn't really do that until this year because it's scary,
It is really
and it's really really scary. It's just easier
mhm.
to Like if someone asked me, I would always say like what they were,
Mhm.
but otherwise I wasn't doing that shit.
Yeah, it's like not like lying by omission because like you're not lying, you're like protecting yourself, but also like,
Yeah,
you know,
it feels like a lie.
it feels like a lie, even though you're not technically lying.
Yeah,
It feels like weird.
yeah. And so I didn't. I was like officially out, I guess, my freshman year. I'm a junior now.
Mhm.
Um, like I emailed all my teachers. That was a big thing for me. And but I wouldn't correct anyone on my pronouns. My name, yes, but never my pronouns.
Yeah. Do you want to talk like, a little bit about like I feel like some people in the trans community have like one thing that they like prefer over the other. Like for me personally, I know that pronouns were like the big thing. I didn't really care about the name as much, but it sounds like you had like the opposite experience. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, um, it kind of was the opposite. I mean, my dead name is very hard to pronounce, and it isn't even in English. So most it was just like it had always been a problem for me anyway,
Mhm.
and having a and Joan's a lot easier. So that was like a big thing for me, rather than people just trying to sound out my name.
Yeah, like Irish names are actually insane.
Yeah,
My mother's name is Colleen, and I just found out like a couple of days ago that the name Colleen literally is just girl in Irish Gaelic. And I'm like,
it is. I
couldn't
didn't
have been
even
a
know
little
that.
bit more creative. A little bit.
Yikes.
Do you want to talk a little bit about like your experiences with any challenges that you've experienced because of your age and gender identity? Like that's something that like cis adolescents or trans adults really don't have to deal with.
Yeah. I I'm not sure about trans adults necessarily, but uh the bathroom situation at my school is like a really big problem.
Mhm. I know it's gotten a lot worse since I left. Basically, when I was in high school, I came out my junior year, and like I had been telling like my friends to use like different names and pronouns, but like I hadn't really like told any teachers or anything. So I sat down with the vice principal, and I'm like, "Hey, help!" And he's just like, "What do you need me to do?" So I got a new ID. I got like I sent out all that stuff to like my teachers and all that. But then like what he just like kind of like the vice principal just kind of gave me like a pass to use the teacher bathrooms because they're like gender neutral stalls. But like I don't remember exactly when this was, but it was like right before COVID hit. I graduated like during spring of 2020. But like I remember in like February or like early March, there was like a big sign on the door that just said like no students allowed. And like
Hmm.
even though like I knew I had a pass to piss there, it still like felt very like non-accommodating.
Yeah.
What is it like
That
now?
pass stayed up until this year after I complained.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my
And because I wanted to rip it down, but I was worried like I would get detention or something and like, get in trouble, like which would be stupid, but also I would rather not get hate crime right now.
yeah, that probably sounds like a good idea, especially
Yeah.
since all the shit in the news lately probably not
Yeah.
a good time.
And it wasn't even like approved to like be taken down, just some guidance counselors took it down like after I said something and like
Mhm.
so I totally could have just taken it down, which really
Yeah,
like made me mad, but whatever.
yeah,
But before all that, um beginning of 2020,
mhm,
that school year, that
yeah.
fall, I was in school and I was told by my personal guidance counselor that I could not use those bathrooms anymore
Why? That's so bizarre.
because I was told it was a COVID thing and I had to go use the one bathroom by the assistant principal's office, like right where you walk into school, and like there's the security officer like watching the
Like back
cameras right
that,
there.
yeah, I
Yeah,
know. That's so hard to get to.
and I was the only one I was allowed to use.
That's so
I
weird.
had most of my classes in like on the other side of the school.
That's literally so ridiculous. And like,
And so then I have to like, oh, I'm like, I have to go talk to the dude every time. I have to go pee.
and like That's kind of it. Like you almost like feel like it's like an invasion of privacy. Like I should just
Yeah.
be allowed to like piss without having to like talk to people.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
not only that, like it wasn't anywhere near as clean. Like it was gross in there.
Oh,
Yeah. So I went there maybe like a total of 3 times
hmm
before deciding I'm not doing that shit and just went to the teacher bathrooms.
hmm
Done.
Did they like say anything to you after that or no?
No.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Nothing's bothering you.
Yeah. Like it was a big thing and I was just so angry. And
It's
I
give yourself a second if you need a second.
yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I remember how the LGBT club was like pretty much just like be gay and eat cookies.
Yeah.
Well, now it's changed a little bit because there are different people running it.
Well, yeah, there was like 4 people in there in the club when I graduated, so I assumed other people would be
But
in
yeah, now
there.
there's like 20 people now. It's
Well,
pretty good.
that's good. I'm really glad to hear
Yeah,
that.
and it's run by different people, so it's like it's different.
All right. How's that going?
It's pretty good. Like I have some issues with them personally, but
Um,
I'll get to that later. Uh, like generally it's pretty okay, but I found out through those meetings, like after like complaining about the sign at the door,
mhm.
that like everyone else was not using the teacher bathrooms and they had to go to the nurse's bathroom.
That's literally so dehumanizing.
And there's only one bathroom in the nurse's office, and there's a big sign on her door that says like you can only use the bathroom for medical necessity or if you get permission from the nurse. And there's always a long line there.
No, I like remember being in the nurse's office for like something like completely unrelated. And like I think I saw like 4 or 5 different kids like use the bathroom there. And it
Yeah.
took like forever each time. And it's so weird that they like say like medical necessity, like
Yeah.
bro, everyone has to pee.
There's still a sign on the teacher bathroom door that says like please keep this door locked, which
Mhm.
little weird, but okay. Like
Yeah.
it's never locked, so it's fine.
Yeah. Like I don't think anyone's gonna lock it because like I mean that's such an inconvenience. And if you forget your keys, but you like work like
Yeah.
all the way on the other side of the school, that's like such a pain in the ass.
So technically I've been using the bathroom this whole time, like illegally, basically.
All right.
Like I'm not allowed to go there, but since telling people that I do go there, like
Mhm.
the club leaders, they're like, okay, we got you handled. Like that's not a problem.
That's good. I'm glad they're taking care of you there because that
Yeah.
really sucks. Have you ever felt the need to hide or alter your gender presentation in order to conform to the binary? And how would you prefer to present yourself?
Absolutely. Literally all the time. I again for a long time I said that I dressed as masculine as possible, tried to act as masculine as possible
Mhm.
because that's what I thought I had to do. And I am, and I still identify as trans masculine, but I realize that I can still put glitter on myself and wear a skirt if I want to. Like it doesn't
Exactly.
make me any less masculine.
It's more about like, how you like act and like, feel
Yeah.
versus the way you dress. Cause I mean, I've seen people like wear like skirts and stuff and they look like just like they're totally chilling.
Yeah.
And like, but like and I've seen like people in suits like look feminine, like you can
Yeah.
do pretty much whatever you want. Like clothes are like
Yeah.
literally just pieces of fabric.
Yeah. Exactly. I just there's a lot of times where I'm wearing something that I feel like makes me too masculine or too feminine and I'm like I'm really uncomfortable. And I'm like someone's going to call me out. Never has happened, but
Wait, what do you mean like call you out?
like they're going to be like, "Oh, well, you're not this kind of person, so you can't wear that."
I don't think anyone would like I would hope that no one would ever say that to your face because that would be very strange if they did.
I would
But
hope not either. It's just
I
how I
but I
feel.
would not be like surprised.
Yeah.
But honestly, I feel like that's more of like an internal thing because
Yeah.
most like trans people are understanding and like I know since like 2016 there was a lot of like anti SJW type stuff. Were you like
Mhm.
online during that period of time?
I was online, but I wasn't really looking at that kind of stuff.
Okay. I feel like during that time there was a lot more like division within the trans community. But now
Yeah.
I feel like, we're a lot more unified. Since there's been so much hate, everyone's just kind of like working together and there's less like, you have to do this. And like,
Yeah.
I think most trans people are understanding that most people are comfortable doing their own thing.
Yeah. Honestly, since the pandemic, like, do you remember when like the pandemic hit and like everyone was like, "Oh, we have time to discover our identities," and then like the surge in non-binary people, like,
I I downloaded TikTok right as the pandemic hit,
mhm,
and the amount of non-binary people I saw on my like TikTok feed literally like tripled.
yeah,
It was
it was
insane.
honestly kind of amazing.
It was so awesome because I'm like good for all these people having time to like find themselves and do their own thing.
Yeah,
And I feel like without that time, like you or I definitely like would not be the same people without that
no,
time.
definitely not.
Like
Definitely
I
not.
was a completely different person before that.
Yeah, me too. I mean, a lot of people were not for that reason, but
I mean, that
it
was
was
2 years
just,
ago, but like, I
yeah.
feel like the last 2 years, a lot has happened in the last 2 years.
Oh, plenty has. I just remember seeing like the surge in non-binary people after I at that point, like before that, I had met, I want to say, three other people
Mhm,
who were non-binary, and that was it. And then after that, it was it felt like it was almost as common as meeting like a boy or a girl. It was really cool.
that is really cool.
Yeah.
I'm
And then
glad
the
you had
other
it.
side of that was uh then cis people finding out that we exist.
Yeah.
Like in large numbers, and then there's like, do you remember the fucking ladies and gentle thems?
Oh, that
Oh
made
my
me
god, I want to vomit.
so nauseous. It's like
It was
so
funny when we
sanitized.
used it.
Like if it
Yeah.
was generally something that came from like the community, like ourselves, it would be completely different.
That was a thing before like a lot of cis people found out though. Like that was a thing like I would joke about with like my non-binary friends, and like it was funny. And
Mhm.
then cis people learned we exist basically, and
Yeah.
it was like,
It
oh
almost like a running
well,
joke.
now you're gonna fit me into a binary again, sir? Did you not read the label?
Like the trinary.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
literally like
that's what they were trying to do.
it's so frustrating
Hmm.
because non-binary like encapsulates so many different people,
So
and,
many.
we're all different.
Hmm.
Want to talk a little bit about your coming out process?
Sure. Um, my coming out process was messy. Let's say that.
Mhm,
Um, I told a couple of friends when I was in seventh grade, and all of them were cis.
mhm,
Um, like one was questioning if they were gay, and that was it.
mhm,
The rest of them were straight. And there was a new kid who like showed up at our school and like ended up being friends with my friends, and like it immediately I got like a weird vibe from him,
mhm.
but everyone else was like, he's fine. Like, I don't know what your problem is. So I just kind of let it go. And
Yeah.
since I had told these friends that like that I'm not binary and I use they them pronouns and I'm gonna go by Joan, then I felt like I had to tell him.
Mhm,
I wasn't super comfortable with it, but at the same time I was really trying hard to trust him,
mhm.
which was a big fucking mistake
Yeah.
because he ended up outing me.
What was it like being outed?
It was scary. It was really, really scary. Honestly, not a lot changed other than I was just people talked to me less and I got a lot more stares. And it
It
was
kind of
just
feels
don't get too
isolating.
close to me.
Mhm.
It was like I had a disease.
I can't imagine how isolating that would feel, especially in seventh grade.
Yeah.
Fuck, being a kid is hard enough as it is.
Yeah.
Middle school was so bad. Like,
It was really
no
bad.
matter how stressful it is, like in high school or college, it could be so much worse. That's so isolating.
It was it was very isolating. like as if I wasn't isolated enough.
Exactly.
And
Um, did
oh, and
you happen to like stop being friends with that friend group afterwards, or do you still talk
yes,
to those people? Okay.
yeah,
So
I
were
ended
they
up
supportive of you, or were they taking like this other person's side?
um well, some of them, there was like, I don't know, like six of us, and one I had been friends with since kindergarten, and like we were okay, and like, but she also wasn't willing to give up like his friendship.
Okay, okay.
And then like there were two others that I had known since like first grade,
Mhm.
and they were also, they just like didn't understand, and but they were like, okay, cool, and like didn't see a problem really.
It's
And then
like
there,
they're cool with you being non-binary, but didn't but like weren't